Alright, hi guys, welcome back to another fun video I have for you guys. Today I will be talking about all of the things that I have been watching currently and recently on the streaming networks that we have. So if you see me looking down or anything, it's because I have some notes. Because we've watched quite a bit of stuff since we've been in quarantine and just overall kind of finished a lot of the shows that we started a little while ago. But I wanted to share them with you because I know I like to watch shows that are recommended to me or that other people enjoy watching, and so a lot of these I have found that I've gotten into them because of recommendations. So if you're like me and you end up watching this video, maybe you'll enjoy one of these shows as well. But okay, so what I've been watching in quarantine, so we're gonna start with Netflix. On Netflix, I have been watching Criminal Minds. So I started watching Criminal Minds before we were in quarantine, but I hadn't finished it because there's so many seasons. But I started it, I think, like during the holidays, maybe like around Christmas time, I think, or Thanksgiving or something like that. So I first started watching Criminal Minds when we didn't have, I think, our internet connected at our other house. So I just started watching like what was on the cable network, and like random Criminal Minds episodes would come on. And I had heard of Criminal Minds, and like, you know, when you don't religiously watch the show but you've seen like an episode or something like that. So that's how I started Criminal Minds. And then I was like, you know what, I actually do want to watch and go through the show. Criminal Minds was my first show that I actually was watching already in before quarantine. So when we started quarantine, I was watching that all day, every day, you know. And I went through seasons 1 through 12. I haven't finished the show because Netflix does not have seasons 13 and 14 on there. So of course I have not finished the entire Criminal Minds series. But please, Netflix, add Criminal Minds seasons 13 and 14 so that people can enjoy things. Anyways, yes, Criminal Minds is so good. Every episode is a different murder mystery, and you kind of get to see, if you watch the entire series, you get to see the personalities and the lives of all of the characters in Criminal Minds. And they are profilers. So what a profiler does is they get to see like crime scenes, and when they go to the crime scenes and they look at all of the evidence, they're able to kind of analyze and evaluate what type of serial killer or killer it was, and that's what helps them find the killer and profile the type of person who would commit this crime or murder. But Criminal Minds is so good. One of my favorite shows ever. Please add 13 and 14 on Netflix because I need those in my life right now. Alright, so next one on the Netflix list is Queer Eye. So my husband and I love Queer Eye so much. We did not know about the Japan season that they had with like 4 or 5 episodes in that. And so when the new season came out, we got like the recommendation of Queer Eye's Japan season. So we watched both Japan season as well as the new season. Oh, Queer Eye is so good. But we went through that in like less than a week, probably days. And so when we were going through it, we were like, you know what, let's not go through it too fast because then we're gonna miss it when we're finished with it. And then we finished it and we ended up missing it, and we still miss it. And Queer Eye, please make a new season because I miss you guys already. Alright, next. We have been watching Charmed, but the new re-release or recreation of Charmed. I watched Charmed, the OG Charmed already, but I wanted to watch the new Charmed to see kind of how they were going to go about making new Charmed with the new sisters and all of that. So me and my husband have been really loving Charmed as well, and we went through that super fast also. But you know, being in quarantine makes you watch things all day, every day. So yes, we went through those shows like probably should have taken our time so that we savored these shows, but that's why I've watched so much already. Okay, Charmed, done. And then I started Vampire Diaries because I saw somebody's Instagram stories talking about whether they were Team Stefan or Team Damon, and I had no idea what the heck they were talking about because I was like, I've never watched Vampire Diaries, but I've always wanted to watch Vampire Diaries because I like Twilight and I like vampire books and stuff like that. And I've seen like an episode or something like that. Every so often I had seen like episodes while it was on TV, but I never watched it religiously. So I started Vampire Diaries and I loved it so much. It's so good. I don't know whose team I'm on because I just love them so much. It's such a good show. Watch it. I have not allowed myself to finish the last season though, because I do this thing where I watch the whole thing so fast and then I end up missing the show and wanting to rewatch it already. So I'm not letting myself finish the last season yet until I'm ready to go through the emotional process of finishing off another show. So I have not finished Vampire Diaries. I'm on the last season, but it's so good. I definitely recommend it for those who like fantasy type shows like werewolves and aliens. It's kind of like that type of thing, but I think you guys would really like it. Alright, next, I have been waiting for Netflix or Hulu or just Amazon, any type of streaming network to add Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I had been waiting and waiting and I had been wanting to watch it for so long, like rewatch it for so long, and still nothing. And then finally, Netflix blessed us during this quarantine and added Avatar: The Last Airbender, and yes, I did start it immediately, and yes, I did finish it immediately, and yes, I was sad again, but I was so happy that it was on there. And I had not watched The Legend of Korra, which is the next Avatar after Aang. So whenever we watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and we finished it, me and my husband were like, okay, well, we miss Avatar: The Last Airbender and we miss Aang and them, so how about we start watching The Legend of Korra? But they didn't have it on Netflix, they didn't have it on Amazon, they didn't have it on Hulu, so we ended up buying it on Google Play and we watched it, but we were trying to kind of enjoy it and watch it little by little so that we didn't finish it so quickly, but that's just not how we work. We try so hard to not fly through things, but we get obsessed. So no, we went through that super fast as well. And Korra has a different personality type than Aang did, but I think that's why we enjoyed it so much. It's so good. I already want to rewatch both of the series. Just so good. If you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, you will like Legend of Korra. Maybe I just like it. I've heard different people say different things, but I enjoyed both of them. And yes, we flew through those super quickly too, but I enjoyed the both of them. Okay, next is Disney Plus, what I've been watching on Disney Plus. So I don't know if you guys have Disney Plus or watch stuff on Disney Plus, but Disney Plus added the making of Frozen 2, which is called Into the Unknown Making of Frozen 2. And if you guys know me or have seen, obviously I'm wearing a Disney sweatshirt already, or right now. I love all things Disney, and watching the making of Frozen 2, when Frozen 2 came out, it was amazing. I loved it. I cried. I cry every time. I can't even listen to Show Yourself without crying because I'm just an emotional person and I cry at everything. So the making of Frozen 2, Into the Unknown, is so inspirational and it just feels so magical and great. Watch it. Like, just watch it. You're gonna love it. It's so good. It's inspirational. It makes you want to follow your dreams. It's just so good, and I cried. Throughout the entire series, I cried. It was so good. I can't recommend this enough. I posted on my Instagram to watch it. Just watch it. You guys will love it. It just shows you the Disney magic that goes into the making of all of their movies. And yes, Frozen 2 came out of that, and Frozen 2 is so good. So yes, I absolutely recommend the making of Frozen 2 because you get to see the entire process. It kind of shows you the storyline of a few people that have been working on Frozen 2 and other films, and it's just really good. Hi guys, sorry, my camera ended up turning off and the battery died, so I ended up charging it for a little bit and then changing locations. So sorry, but this is not my living room. Okay, so what I was talking about was Frozen 2 on Disney Plus. It is such a good movie. Frozen 2 is such a good movie, but the making of Frozen 2 is so great to see. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't already watched it, yes, give that a watch. I think you guys would really enjoy it. It's just cool to see everything that goes into making of the movie. Alright, and then next on Disney Plus is Hamilton. Oh my goodness, I am completely obsessed with Hamilton. I love Hamilton. I listen to the soundtrack every day. I've already watched it more times than I can count. It's so good. Lin-Manuel Miranda definitely did an awesome job with just creating the entire storyline. It's so good. I definitely recommend you watch Hamilton if you haven't already. It's just really good, and it keeps your attention the entire time. At least for me, I really enjoyed it. I now want to watch it live when the world gets back to normal. I would love to see it on Broadway. It was supposed to come to Arizona, but because of COVID, now it's not coming, and so hopefully when everything gets back to normal, it'll come and I'll be able to see it live. But yes, Hamilton is so good. Listen to the soundtrack, watch it, rewatch it, so good. Okay, the Imagineering story on Disney Plus is also really cool. It's kind of has the same feel as what the Making of Frozen 2 does, because it kind of shows you everything that goes into the movie, but the Imagineering story kind of takes you through the process of how Walt Disney came about making or building Disneyland as well as Disney World, and how each of the different Disney CEOs have left their own mark with the Disney story and just like Disney in general. It's really cool to see it all kind of narrated, and it's really cool to see how the process had happened for it to be able to be what it is now. And I definitely recommend it. And I don't think I've watched the entire thing through. I think I'm missing like an episode or maybe 2 episodes, but it's really good. It's very inspirational as well. It does get you emotional, but I cry at everything, so I don't know if it'll get you guys emotional. But yes, it's really good, and I would recommend watching the Imagineering story, especially if you love Disney like me and like my family. I think that people would love it that much more after watching the Imagineering story. Alright, let's see. So Prop Culture is also another cool thing to watch on Disney Plus. It is so awesome. I love anything that has to do with like props in movies and like or voiceovers and stuff like that. So Prop Culture was so cool to watch. It only has a few episodes. It really goes through like certain props that are in. From what I remember, I think it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't remember the last one, but it's really cool to see how a lot of different people have props from the original movies, as well as you get to see some of the voice actors or just the actors in the movies. It's really cool. It's Mary Poppins. They go through Mary Poppins and they have one of the carousel horses. I don't know, but it's really cool. I definitely recommend watching Prop Culture. It's really short. There's only like 5, maybe 6 episodes, or maybe less. But there's a few episodes. I was kind of sad there was so little episodes, but hopefully they start making more of those, because I really enjoyed watching that. I think you guys will also enjoy it, especially if you like those movies that it includes. It's just cool to see it, as well as to scale, because like when we went to the El Capitan Theater to watch we watched Hocus Pocus there. They had on display the Nightmare Before Christmas, was it the sleigh? Yeah, I think it was a sleigh. And then they had some Hocus Pocus props like the statue and the book and stuff like that. So it's cool to see it featured on the show, especially after seeing what we had at the El Capitan, what they had there. It's just cool to see all of that. It just makes it that much more magical, I guess I could say. But yes, it's super magical to see it, and I really enjoy it, and you guys will enjoy it as well. And then yes, on Disney Plus, they just have so much. We have not went through everything on there. They have National Geographic shows, and we have been watching some like that are about history. My husband likes those a lot, so he'll put those on. We've watched Disney movies, of course, and then Onward is on there, and I know that me and my husband had made it to the theater right before the theaters closed, or at the start of coronavirus. So when Onward went on Disney Plus, I was watching it like every day for a long while. I watched it again not that long ago because I just love it so much. It's so sweet, and it makes me cry every time. It's just so good. I definitely recommend watching Onward if you haven't already. Alright, and okay, so moving on to Hulu, we've been watching quite a few things on Hulu. So I don't remember when we started, but I think it's called The Baker and the Beauty, or The Beauty and the Baker. That's a really good show. It's only one season long. I don't know if they ever got renewed, but it was kind of new at the beginning of the when coronavirus started or quarantine started. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Me and my husband have been watching it right when it came out. I think it came on like right after something that we had watched, because that's how we got into it. Yes, but that's a really good show. It's funny. It's good. I would recommend that one. And then we finished watching The Goldbergs on Hulu. That one's hilarious. I love that show so much. We had started watching that a little bit before quarantine. I think it was like during the holidays. The Goldbergs was so funny, but we finished it during quarantine, so I included it on the list. And then another thing that we started during quarantine is American Housewife. That one's a really funny show too. It has like Ali Wong in it, and it's just really funny. I like that one a lot. But we finished that one too. That one we went through really fast. We had that on like all day, every day for a while. Right, and we also watched Rick Steves Europe. That one's a really cool show because he kind of takes you around Europe and what you should do if you're visiting any of the cities there, and where to go sightseeing there, what you would enjoy. It just kind of takes you through, and it was especially cool because right now how we can't travel and stuff, or it's not safe to travel. It's just cool because you're actually able to watch traveling shows. It makes you travel through TV, I guess you can say, but that was a cool one to watch. We really enjoyed Rick Steves Europe. And then, so we just started on Hulu Ghost Whisperer. Ghost Whisperer had always been a show that we had seen like an episode or two, like random episodes when it was just on TV or like on the background, or really just random times it would be like on, or it would be on really late. We'd watch like that episode, but we never really watched the show through or started from the beginning or anything like that. So we just started Ghost Whisperer. I think it was like maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But that one is so good. I love Ghost Whisperer. It's just such a good show. I have literally cried every episode because if you don't know, Ghost Whisperer is with Jennifer Love Hewitt. She is the only person, or she's one of the only people who can see earthbound spirits, which means that spirits who have unfinished business are still on Earth or roam Earth or are attached to people. And her job kind of is to help them with their unfinished business so that they can go into the light, which means they go to heaven. So when every episode she has a new earthbound spirit that she's trying to help out. It's just so emotional. It gets my heartstrings. It gets my heart it's just so sweet, and I just cry every episode. It's so good. But yes, we are working on Ghost Whisperer right now. I definitely recommend you watch it. It's kind of cool to see because it was a little while ago already. The show's finished up. I don't even know when it ended, but it's such a good show. I love it. I don't know why we never watched it previously, but I'm glad that we have this show to watch right now. I recommend it if you want something to watch. It's just a really good show, and I think it's cool too because you don't even have to watch like the whole show through. I mean, you do get the storyline through that way, but it's one of those shows where you can just start up really anywhere and it wouldn't be too confusing or anything like that. It's just a really good show, and I would recommend it. Alright, and then, so that's really all that I have on my list right now. There are some shows that I do want us to start watching or rewatching. I had previously watched Pretty Little Liars when that was out, and I kind of want to restart that because it gives me like that suspenseful show, and I love suspenseful shows, so I think I want to rewatch that one. I don't even know if it's on Netflix anymore, but I think I want to restart that one. And then I added to our list the Unsolved Mysteries that's on Netflix. That one looks really good. I have not yet watched it. You know me, you know I like suspense, I like horror, I like mystery, I like true crime. You can watch my other video that's of my top 5 podcasts that has a lot to do with true crime and paranormal, and I will link that here, I think, or this corner, one of these corners. I'll link that for you guys. But yes, that one is on my list. I don't know what else I have been wanting to watch, but yes, so that's all I have for you guys. I feel like we've watched a lot of shows over. We've been in quarantine, but it has been 5 months already, so yeah, let me know if you guys have any recommendations on what we should watch next, what you guys have been watching. I would love your suggestions because sometimes it kind of gives me something that I wouldn't normally watch on my own. But yes, so I recommend all of these to you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you guys. But yes, please like and subscribe if you like videos like these. And yeah, leave me your recommendations down below. I'll include all my socials here for you guys as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next. Bye.